If you are currently on a weight loss journey, I want to encourage you today that it is possible for you to lose the weight and keep it off. In fact, I want to share with you that I just finished losing 65 pounds after having another baby. Before that, I gained 85 pounds in my first pregnancy, lost that, and then lost the 65 pounds after my second one. So through that journey of losing like over 150 pounds, there are definitely some key things that I learned about how to lose the weight in a healthy, sustainable way that's not about being on another fad diet. And today I want to share with you really the top 3 things that I learned about what it means to create a healthy new lifestyle to lose the weight so that you never gain it back. Because honestly, there's nothing worse than going on another horrible diet that you absolutely hate just to drop a bit of weight and then gain it all back plus some more. In fact, the statistics show us these days that for every fad diet you try, you actually end up gaining 2 to 3 pounds. So we got to quit trying with the diets because they aren't working. And we got to do something different. We got to learn how to do this a different way and a better way, because the definition of insanity is to continue doing the same thing over and over and expect different results. So let's do something different. Let's do something new and let's lose this weight. And so today, these 3 things that I'm going to share with you are really what transformed my weight loss journey, and in turn actually are what transformed my whole entire life. So if you're new, welcome. My name is Casey. Usually it's my mom here with me as well, Ruth, but she is away on vacation. So lucky her. If you're new here and have not subscribed, please go ahead and do so. Your subscribe really helps move our channel forward. It helps get these messages out because we are passionate about helping women of faith reclaim their weight, reclaim their health, and reclaim their life so that you can go out and live the purpose that God has for you. So I want to dive right in to the 3 top things that I learned on my journey of losing weight 2 times after 2 pregnancies. And so the first one is that if you want to lose the weight for good, this cannot be just another diet. Okay, I kind of already alluded to that, but we can't keep doing the diets. The diets aren't working, right? When you tell yourself over and over and over again how much you dislike yourself, and so you're going to punish yourself into losing weight by going on another horrible diet that you hate, well, how can you end up with a positive result from such a negative starting position, right? Think about the last diet that you tried or that you maybe currently are on. And what's the mentality that you've got going on? What's the mindset that you've got going on? Is it like, oh, I can't stand the way that I look, so I'm going to go on another horrible diet, or I'm going to never allow myself to eat chocolate again, or never allow myself to eat a slice of bread again, or, right? When we start from such a negative position, we can't get a positive result. What we have to do is we have to learn how to care enough about ourselves today to make good decisions. We have to care enough about ourselves to care about our health, which includes our weight, because our weight is an important component of our overall health, right? It's hard to be healthy when we're carrying around all this extra weight. It's hard on our joints. In fact, Ruth and I have heard from numerous doctors that for every 5 pounds of weight you lose, you take 20 pounds of pressure off your knees. So if you have no other incentive other than to take pressure off your joints because they're hurting, well, let me tell you, that is a good reason to get started, okay? And so it can't be just another diet. When we do go on these crazy diets where we hate ourselves and we're trying to like punish ourselves into losing weight, what ends up happening is that we just end up rebelling against that punishment of ourselves on another diet, and we go binge on all the foods that we're trying not to eat. We've lost sight of what it means to live in moderation, right? We've lost sight of what it means to view food as fuel for our bodies. And most diets, most fad diets, are not about viewing food as fuel for your body, right? So that's why we often say we need to fire our diets and learn how to live a healthy lifestyle. And a healthy lifestyle is about learning how to view food as fuel. And, foods fuel us, but there's different levels of fuel for our bodies, right? You could go out and eat a bunch of processed junk, and yeah, it's going to give you some energy, but it's going to give you like a sugar spike and then a big crash. It's not good energy, right? Versus eating good, wholesome, healthy, clean foods. That's good fuel for your body. And so we have to learn how to change the perspective that we go on a weight loss journey with, right? If you go on a weight loss journey from the perspective of how can I honor God with these decisions? How can I be a good steward of my body so that I can lose the weight and continue to be a good steward of my body, rather than, oh, I hate myself, so now I'm never going to eat bread again, right? We have to learn how to shift that whole perspective. And that was a big, huge thing that I had to learn on my journey. And, really, I'm going to say the first time as I was losing that 85 pounds after my first pregnancy is really when this kind of came to light for me, right? This can't just be another diet. And in fact, as my whole weight loss journey started after that first pregnancy, I called my mom, Ruth, who has a background in health and fitness. And I said to her, Mom, I can't do another fad diet. I just don't have the emotional capacity to hate everything about my life again right now, but I need to lose this weight. So how can I do something other than another fad diet? How can I do this without a diet? How can I lose the weight without being on a diet? And so we came up with this incredible plan that helped me to lose all that weight. I lost 85 pounds with it the first time, and then I lost 65 pounds with it the second time. I will share some pictures with you here so that you can see the transformation, all with our 10-day WeighDown plan. And if you want to check it out, I would love to invite you to click the link below. I'll have it in the description. We keep the price point as low as possible because we want women to learn how to create healthy lifestyles for themselves so we don't have to be on these horrible fad diets any longer. So the second big thing that I learned through this journey is that it's a daily battle of surrender. Okay, you and I from fad diet culture have so many mixed up crossed wires in our brains when it comes to our relationship with food, when it comes to like being on fad diets. And ultimately, we have to lay that all down. We have to surrender it all at the foot of the cross and invite God into every step of the journey. And, I could talk for hours and hours about this because if as believers, we believe that the Bible is our blueprint for best living, then we have to actually apply that to every aspect of our life, which includes our weight loss journey. But so often we don't think about inviting God to the table. We don't think about surrendering our weight loss journey to God, but we need to, because for many of us, food has become an idol in our lives. And in our culture, we don't think of it like that. But when we're turning to food for all of the things that we should be turning to God for, like when we're turning to food for comfort, when we're turning to food for security, for enjoyment, for joy, for all of these things that we should be turning to God for, then we got to, like I said, lay that down at the foot of the cross. And, the Bible talks so much. It has so much wisdom for us to apply to our weight loss journey. In fact, Ruth and I recently did a video about the fruits of the Spirit and weight loss. Or things like, it talks about temptation, right? We face a lot of temptation on our weight loss journey, but we are told that there's always a way out, but we have to take it. We also know that this battle, this journey is, it's as much a spiritual battle as it is a physical battle. And so we've got to be putting on the armor of God. We have to surrender this journey every day. And in fact, it's a moment by moment type of journey, because one moment you're going to be just fine. And the next moment, the donuts are going to come through your office into the break room and you're going to be going like, oh my goodness, how in the world do I make the best decision right now for the sake of my weight loss journey? How do I make a decision that aligns with my goals? And so we have to surrender it. And so that means that God is at the forefront of this journey, not you. He is leading you. You are making decisions based on how can I honor and steward this body that God has given me to the best of my abilities. So those are the first 2 points. The third major lesson that I learned on my weight loss journey is that it's going to be challenging. But you and I are more than conquerors. And so we can do this. There's so many other areas of our lives where things get difficult, but we don't quit. We don't give up. We don't ditch it all because it got hard. We don't ditch it all because we made a mistake. But for some reason on a weight loss journey, many of us have taken on this idea that if we're not perfect, well, let's just ditch it all and go binge on some junk food, because why even bother trying? But when you start to shift your perspective from just another fad diet, that's going to change the way that you think about these challenges too, because it's not about perfection. It's about making good decisions for the sake of your health, for the sake of your body, for the sake of honoring God. And when we mess it all up, that doesn't mean we give up. That means that we accept it, we surrender it again, we forgive ourselves, and we move forward and we keep going because we are more than conquerors. And so, losing weight is not an easy journey. There's just no way around it. It's uncomfortable, it's challenging. In our culture, we face temptation everywhere we turn, whether it's going out for dinner with friends or walking through the aisles at the grocery store, or like I said earlier, having the donuts brought into the break room at your office. There's temptation everywhere. And learning how to have the discipline to make the best decisions, it's not easy. It's challenging. And our world has just given us this idea that it's acceptable to turn to food, but that's not what we want to do as believers, right? We want to live at a healthy weight so that we can live out the purpose that God has for us to the best of our abilities. And beyond that, we want to feel good in our bodies. We want our health and all of the things that we can do to control that. We cannot control every aspect of our health. I fully, acknowledge that, but there's lots of things that we can do to improve it, to reclaim it. And so is it going to be challenging? Yes. But in this journey, you have to decide every day to choose your hard, because it's hard to stay stuck overweight, not liking yourself, and in that rat race of fad diet culture. It's also hard to create a healthy new lifestyle. It's hard to go against the grain in our culture and say no thank you to the donuts and the sugar and all of the things. We have to get to a point where the pain of staying the same is too great. And so we're willing to do the challenging things to take on the pain of change, right? The pain of staying the same has to be too great. And you have to be in a position where you're ready and willing to do what's challenging and to keep running the race, even when you fall down. Ruth and I often say, this is a journey about being in training. We are big fans of Craig Groeschel. We're actually just working through his new book right now, The Power to Change. I'll link that below as well if you want a copy. And he talks in there about the difference between trying versus training. And if you think about trying, well, when we try things, it doesn't really matter if we don't do it. I gave it a try. And then that's kind of all there is there. But if we're in training for something, if you're in training for your health, if you're in training on your weight loss journey, well, think about an athlete who's in training. They don't quit when they make a mistake. They practice, and then they practice some more. And when they fall down, they get back up and they dust themselves off and they keep going. And they keep doing that over and over again. It doesn't matter how silly they look. It doesn't matter if people are laughing at them. It doesn't matter if they fall down. It doesn't matter if they come in last place. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. They're in training and they're going to get up and do it again. And so in our weight loss journey, we have to look at it as though we are in training for the sake of our health. We are in training in this weight loss journey. And that means we are going to make mistakes. We are learning. We are falling forward or failing forward. And we have to just keep getting back up and trying again. And you know what? This was a big shift in perspective for me, going yeah, this is going to be a challenging journey. Am I up for that task? And I was up for that task because I didn't want to stay stuck with all that extra weight because I didn't feel good. I didn't feel good about the way I looked. I didn't feel good in my body. I had a lot of pain in my knees and in my feet. And so I decided yeah, the pain of staying like this is too great and I'm willing to take on that challenge. I'm willing to be in training. Was I perfect? Absolutely not. Did I make mistakes? Absolutely. Were there days where I was why did I make that decision? Absolutely. And there's going to be days like that for you too. But that's where it's about learning how to get back up and carry on. Okay. And so, I just really hope that these 3 points, that it can't just be another diet, that we have to do a daily battle of surrender, and that it's going to be challenging. They're not the practical steps that you need to know in order to lose the weight. We've got other videos on the channel that are like that. But honestly, these are the 3 things that if I had to go back and start again after that first pregnancy with 85 pounds to lose, that I wish that I would have just known right away. And whether you know it right away, it's going to be a journey of getting the information from your head to your heart. Okay? Because I can say all of these things to you, but you have to do the work to make this reality for you, right? I can say it can't just be another fad diet. I can say this has to be a daily battle of surrender, and you can hear it. I can say it's going to be challenging, but you have to be the one to walk through it. And I want to end just by saying a weight loss journey is something that we have to walk through. And God doesn't often take us around difficult things in life. Often we have to go right through it. And so if you are willing to surrender this journey and go through it, if you're willing to look at this from a new perspective and to surrender it and to accept the challenge, then God is going to do a work in you and through you on this weight loss journey. And if you view it from that perspective, you are going to be amazed at the transformation that happens both in your physical body and inside of you. So I want to thank you for being here listening. And as always, Ruth and I like to end by saying, until next time, treat your body like a temple, not a trash can.